So when we're talking about the winter solstice meditation, I had some meditations I wanted to use, but we can also, expand on this. It's no type of concrete way of doing it. Like it has to be flexibility because what I was saying is we need people who are leaders, not followers. We're not looking for people to follow. We're saying we're just looking for people to ignite using this idea of this is the deadline or lifeline, as people say.
Well, it is the lifeline because, Gaia or Earth is at a critical point. And as someone who has been in the mental health field for over 2 decades, I have never came across so many unbalanced humans and to the point of malfunctioning almost. Like their minds are not working or resonating on a frequency that's going to produce the energy that we are needing to produce at this time.
The issue is that I'm saying is that we have roughly about 8 billion people on the planet, but 7 billion of those people are falling. They are in a phantom matrix timeline. That's that phantom earth timeline. 7 billion people are not making it. Yes.
So you bring up a very important point when you say that 7 billion people are falling. And I think we have to take the moment to break that down. And so there's a process in every human that's on this planet right now that if they go through the process of self-development, they can unleash the genius that lies within. So when you say that 7 billion that's fallen, another way of saying it is that you have 7 billion people that are really resonating off of the shadow self or the what's another term that you spirit light, which means that you have 7 billion people who their spirit has not fully developed to the highest level that it can. And so when it doesn't do that, it does begin to fall, as you're saying, or descend. And so we are in a descension and ascension process all in the same time.
The issue that makes it difficult is because we have to understand that this was a false system from the start, but we can't let ourselves get caught up into like that mentality of, oh, it's a false system, so forget it. It's nothing can be done. It's a false system, but the failsafe was an individualistic approach to ascension where we couldn't do everybody has to ascend in order for we couldn't do that. It had to be, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen.
I'm sorry.
It's an individual, but it is what it is. It's an individual approach to ascension. Like you have to resonate and you have to be on a certain vibration or you fall. And there's no way to say it. And it's been, toyed with, 2000 was a gateway, and 1987 was a gateway, and 2012 was a gateway, and 2020 was a gateway. So there's been these gateways that have occurred, and 2023 is like, from what we are seeing, the gateway that we thought was coming in 2012 is happening now in 2023.
So when you talk about like the gateway, right? Because these are terms that we use daily. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this stuff on a daily basis, but to someone that may not be resonating or vibing on that frequency, like what is the gateway?
I wouldn't necessarily say a gateway. Let's just say It's your chance to ascend, and you have to take it. Um, when I say gateway, I should really just say, as a doctor, I'm quoting that phrase, a gateway. I just don't want you to think about anything you've seen on TV. It's not some type of thing or place or whatever to take your money. I'm just speaking of your intrinsic power as a angelic human to manifest that and go forward. So for us right now, if you're even listening to this video, you are already at least a 5D level of consciousness. And quite frankly, you're probably at an 8D or higher consciousness, because that's where this frequency video is aimed toward. I really want every single person to get it, but people at a 3D or lower 4D astral plane, they're not going to get it because they're too wrapped up into money and power. And let me try to, they're not at this level of, we are moving to what I'm calling the Gaia timeline. And we've known this was coming, but we're not in a Earth. We're not in a Terra. We are moving to a Gaia timeline, which are dimensions 7 through 9.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that, because someone would say, okay, well, how do I, move up? How do I go through the process of ascension? And from my understanding, the way you move up is through portals. And I look at portals, the way you get from one portal to the next is through your choices. And so when we talk about falling or shadow, we're talking about using the least, how can I say this? So when we speak about, what a fallen person or a fallen angelic person is, it means that they're vibrating on the lowest frequency possible. And so their choices are going to be from the lowest frequency possible. And so what you have to do is reconnect and realign with yourself and center yourself. And when you go through the process of centering yourself, right, then you are able to realign with your truest self, your truest self. And by aligning with your truest self, by nature, it would help you to start picking higher frequency choices. And that's the way you are able to continuously, right, pick those higher frequency choices. Should I be mean or should I be nice? Should I open the door for this person or should I close it on them? Should I be deceitful or should I have integrity? This is what we're talking about. We know that all of these are portals, and we know that the world is in a duality. So what does that mean? You got to know dissatisfaction in order to know bliss. So if you look at dissatisfaction as being the shadow self or the lower frequency, that dissatisfaction has the power to unleash within you the higher frequency. But you got to know why you're feeling dissatisfied. For me, dissatisfaction is a motivation. It lets me know that my journey is not done. So even when I am within the midst of completing a goal, I know that there's something else that's coming after that.
And so what she's speaking of is the fact that is choices are portals. So every time you make a choice, it's a portal to a different timeline, dimension even, or you can be in a fall path, or you can stay in an ascension path, or you can stay kind of where you are. But your choices are what create your portals. And our consciousness creates reality. Our collective consciousness creates the total reality. So what we're pushing toward right now is for everyone who's hearing this message, the angelics that are, I want to say left, but the angelics that are tasked for this. There were 144,000 and we're down to about 134,000. So we've lost some people. We need for you to wake up. Now is the time to start changing and get rid of those fallen matrix memories that are stuck in our consciousness that are creating this craziness. We have got to start only envisioning peace and tranquility on a Gaia world timeline. We cannot look at Earth. Earth is gone. That timeline is corrupted. Gaia timeline. We're going to take a bio break. We'll be right back to you in 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Thank you. This is Dr. Ani Sekroba. I'm back with my wife, Dr. Aset Rahman, and we are talking about the December 21st Stellar Activation Gaia World Timeline event. And as we're talking about this, we want people to think about what world you want to create. And we are only speaking to angelics who only want to focus on bringing in a new reality that's going to be of source, the ancestors, the Onya Capone, Trio Pone, Great Spirit, those type of. I'm sorry, my wife has something she wants to say.
Well, I'm just saying, like you were like in your zone, but basically we're we're calling in a higher frequency. The other day we had the pleasure of taking our children out to the movies, and we went to go see what was it? What did we go see?
The Marvels.
The Marvels. And it was it was a world that they had gone to in space, and the way that they communicate is through song. And so when you're thinking about envisioning, the next level of the world that we're actively creating right now through our minds, through our intentions, and through our attention, what do you want? I want a world where I don't have to worry about my children being safe. I want a world where I don't have to worry about hearing a 6-year-old, bringing a gun to school and shooting a teacher. I want a world where people are allowed to be free and they're allowed to be who they are unapologetically. That's the world that I'm envisioning. And so we want to leave you with this question. What world are you envisioning in this next dimension that we're all going into?
So, what I just want to leave you with is peace and blessings, and the knowledge that we're going to be absolutely bombarding the angelics with these videos in the next 18 days before the solstice. And my time is off, but you're going to be bombarded with these videos because we need you to wake up. Thank you. This has been Dr. Ani Sakraba
and Dr. Aset Rahman.